Welcome to another Mr. Gray's Algebra 1 lesson. This is part 2 of factoring trinomials in this form, ax² plus bx plus c. And the last couple of examples in my student's textbook covers these two special situations, and thought I would just briefly cover them and explain them to you. I know it's easy sometimes just to read, but hopefully the explanation will be better for you. This here is a trinomial that actually needs to be basically factored before we do basically our AC and our B that we did in our last lesson, part 1. And so to do that, we can see that there's a 12x squared minus 26x squared plus 10x. I'm going to go ahead and actually use the greatest common factor here. 12 is 2, 3x, and x. All right, I'm going to get to this and explain that in case you forgot just in the review. 26 is going to be 2 times 13 and then 2 x's. 10 will be 2 and 5 and 1 x. Okay? Remember min-com, they all have to be common. 2's are in everything, 3's are not, 13's are not, 5's are not, and then we have x. Okay? So we only can pull a group of 2, and we can only pull one group of x. So 2x is what we get. All right, that's where this is at, greatest common factor. Now we've got 3 terms. We're going to bring our minus down, our plus down. Remember, we ask ourselves, 2x times what gives me my first term? And you need to know this in some of the lessons and video that we're doing. 2 times what is 6? Well, that would be 3. And then I've got 1x, I need to go to 2, so I've got to put 1x. 2 times what gives me 26, all right? And, oops, I'm sorry, that's 12, my bad, 6, all right? 2 times what gives me negative 26, that would be 13. I've got an x here, and I need to go to 2 x's, so that's x. 2 times what gives me 10, that would be 5, and I already have an x. So this right here is what this becomes. So this has been factored one step to pull out the 2x. So now the 2x is pulled out, and guess what? This part right here, just the trinomial, is ready to be factored just like I taught you in the part 1 lesson of factoring trinomials. So now we're ready to go. And we did 3 of those in that video, and what we did was the following. Remember, we found out that AC is equal to 30, which is right here. All right? So 2 AC equals to 30. So we end up having 36 times 5, and then B is equal to a negative 13. Factors of 30 that add up to negative 13 become a negative 10 and a negative 3. And then in doing so, we're going to spread that out. Guess what I forgot? I'm going to put that right there. All right? Now, factors of 30, negative 10 and negative 3. So remember, we expand the middle, all right, to basically include this expansion, negative 10, negative 3. Okay? So 6x squared minus 10x minus 3x plus 5. Then remember, we go ahead and put 2 sets of binomials with our parentheses, and then we factor. Factoring this, we get a 2x out of it with a 3x minus 5. We factor this as a negative 1. Now, there's no factors of 3 and 5 and x. So all we're going to do is we're just going to pull out a negative 1 and change the sign. Remember, I told you, these problems always end up where the parentheses is going to be the same. Well, we're starting to look and see that we get a negative 3x plus 5, and we see a 3x minus 5, so we know that we've got to turn things around. So the negative 1 flips our signs, all right? So we get a plus negative 1 there to distribute or pull out. So 2x minus 1, 2x minus 1 times the 3x minus 5, and then don't forget our 2x. See, I forgot that too. 2x becomes our answer. Remember, we pulled that out first, so that's still part of the answer. Okay, so that'll kind of help you to understand what we're doing there. All right, here's a little bit of a unique situation as well. In this trinomial, we've got a letter that's squared at the end, we've got an x and a y in the middle, and just a lot of stuff going on. But let's do our AC. 2 and a negative 14 is a negative 28. B is 3. All right, so we need to find the AC factors whose sum is going to be B, which is 3. The negative 28 factors that we found are 7 and negative 4 when added are 3. So here's what we're going to do. Instead of just writing that, what we've got is an xy in the middle, and we're going to expand the 7 and the negative 4. So we write 2x squared plus, and then this part right here is expanded as a 7xy, and this one as a 4xy. It's a little bit unique because this is what we have in the middle of our trinomial. And then we add on the negative 14y squared on the end, all right? Same thing. We go ahead and pair our binomials from the polynomial, and we have a 2x squared plus 7xy, and we have a negative 4xy minus 14y squared. This is plus, because remember, when we do it, it's an automatic plus, and then we kind of keep that negative sign with the second binomial, with the third term, all right? Now we need to find the greatest common factor. 2's and 7's, that won't work, but we can pull out 1x, and in doing so, we get 2x plus 7y. And we know that in the next one, we need a 2x plus 7y. So minus, we're going to pull out a 2, and we'll pull out a y, which it turns out we know that's exactly what it is because that's what fits. But that is the greatest common factor of that binomial. And then as we multiply 2y times what gives us negative 4xy? 2x. And then the same here with the 7y. So as we see the binomials, we notice we have an x minus 2y times the 2x plus 7y that's shown there. All right? And that helps you. It's just two specific situations that we have in the last couple of examples in that lesson, and I just wanted to explain them to you. All right? Thank you. Have a great day.